Welcome to Bacon is my podcast. We just had a show and we're going to talk about it and we're going to talk about other stuff. And this is totally the first time we've done this.
Yeah.
Hit the intro. If it wasn't for the patrons, this show would totally suck.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We would have recorded for an hour.
Yeah.
And then we would have gone about our day. And then Monday I would have strolled in, downloaded it, and gone, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
No audio.
Fantastic.
But they're here live.
They're here live. You can be too over at patreon.com/Bacon is my podcast.
Yeah. And they warn
Join
us
us.
when you can't
And they're
hear
like,
anything.
we can't hear you. We can't hear, but we can't see them until we jump back in after we do the intro.
Right. We have to do the intro first and everything. So thank you,
Thank you,
patrons.
guys,
we love you guys.
for making this work. We are here on the day of our Lord, April 28th.
Yes.
Welcome to Global Pay It Forward Day.
I love that.
I also love that.
I love that. I
So-
honestly try and pay it forward as much as I possibly can.
Me too.
Yeah, like, you know, we've talked about it a number of times. Like anything that I have, even like a little bit of knowledge and or proficiency in, like I am happy to bestow any of that information on people.
That is, you are a paying it forward MFer, honestly. Like you really are. You're probably the most pay it forward person that I do know.
Oh, well,
For
thanks.
reals.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that. I try.
Hey, you succeed. That's a real deal thing. I try and do my best. And everybody, just remember today, pay it forward a little bit.
And just know that it's kind of thankless.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything from it.
Well, if you
Because some
expect something
people-
from it, then you're not really paying it forward.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Good point. Good
Right?
point.
Then it's transactional.
Because most people don't listen to anything you have to say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just
For
the way
sure.
life is.
Yeah.
By and large. So
I give the best advice that people don't take.
yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
amazing.
think we all do. I think we all
It's
do.
fantastic. It is also National Blueberry Pie Day. My favorite of the pies.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Do you prefer a lattice pattern on top of your pie?
I do not. I
You
like
like the-
I like
you like
as
the f-
much crust as possible.
I love crust.
Yeah.
I love the look of the cross, like the cross patterns.
Sure.
But man, it's just not enough crust.
Not enough crust. And then when that crust needs to be a platform for the scoop of ice cream to sit on and melt.
Yeah.
That's-
And then it kind of gets in
Oh.
and it's a little crispy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a little bit soggy because of the melted ice cream.
Blueberry pie is definitely my favorite of the pies. I will. I'm going to figure out a way to get a blueberry pie today.
Excellent.
Maybe today and
And on the
April
actual
28th. Yes. It is
You know
also.
your mic is like pointed towards me.
Is it pointing? Is it moving?
Yeah, but I got
It's
you.
moving
I
around.
got you.
It's
Yeah.
moving around on me. It is National Great Poetry Reading Day. So don't bother with all that whack ass poetry.
Yeah, only
the
do
great stuff.
Great stuff.
Only the great stuff. It is National Bravehearts Day, which I don't know what that is. So I'm going to find out here. The Bravehearts for Kids organization. In honor of the bravery of families dealing with childhood cancer during this time, pay tribute and support the families and friends of those involved in a child's life. Hashtag National Bravehearts Day. Hashtag Spotlight Hope. So
Yeah.
Spotlight Hope is the company that does that, and you can donate to Bravehearts for Kids. So that
Do
is
that.
definitely
It's a good way to pay it forward as
definitely do that one. And then finally, National Superhero Day, and you can be a superhero by donating to Bravehearts,
well.
or you can put on a cape and fight crime.
You could.
Either of those,
Or
things,
at least a mask.
whichever's easier for you to be successful at.
I would prefer a mask to a cape,
I also,
personally.
yeah, I'm not a cape. Well, I do like a robe, but capes are
but
pretty awesome.
But yeah,
But yeah, if I had to, that just went in your bag.
Yeah,
I got to remember that.
That's there.
Yeah, capes get in the way, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the only person whose cape doesn't suck is Batman.
Yeah. Well, he's the only one with a cape that seems to be functional.
Right. You get the actual like gliding thing going on. Superman's is lame. Well, because it's literally Well, because
Superman's lame. Yeah.
And Supergirl's.
When I was a kid, Superman wasn't lame. He was the best. But
yeah, and Supergirl's is much shorter.
Yes.
So why bother?
Yeah, hers is like a dish towel versus the bath towel cape.
Yes. Yeah.
If you were measuring when you were a child of which one to wrap around your neck and jump into the pool and then hope doesn't go over the front of your face when you exit the water. That happened to me. And you come up and then it sucks into your mouth when you breathe.
Yes.
And all you do is go, ah! You just breathe in a bunch of water through.
What about Doctor Strange? Well, Doctor Strange
that's a cloak.
Is not. Yeah, that's a
cloak.
A
cloak.
That's not.
And the collar tells you what a cloak it is too. Right. Much like Spawn.
Spawn's is a cloak.
Is a cloak also, which is sentient. Which I agree, Pinky is awesome, but that is the cloak.
Yeah,
cloak of levitation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Invisibility cloak.
Fantastic cloak.
It's a great.
I would love an invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
What would you do that's not seedy?
I mean,
I don't know if there's anything I would do that isn't seedy.
Yeah, there's nothing that's not nefarious in any sort of way that you can accomplish with that invisibility.
If I had an invisibility cloak, I'd be creeping.
Well, what else is it for?
Yeah.
What else is it for? To listen in on things
adults
that you're
don't
not supposed to.
Adults don't need to hide like children do.
Right.
An adult with an invisibility cloak is only going to do nefarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be up to shenanigans.
Yeah. There's only shenanigans to be had. And I would do it. I would love it just from a practical joke standpoint.
Yes.
Like the first thing I thought of was like, oh, I'm just going to scare the shit out of people.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just going to like go in, just sneak into a room and just wait until somebody walks in and let them get nice and settled. And then just be like, what are you doing? And then let them jump and freak out.
Nice.
That's the first thing that I thought of.
I like that. Yeah, I thought about like putting something under it that would seep when they sat on it, and then putting the cloak over it.
Another thing too,
I like those kind of
would be the go from behind and tap on the shoulder,
tap,
or even just like just speak, speak and just be like, this is the wrong way, and just kind of just leave these weird tidbits, these weird like second thoughts.
Just a weird word. So they think their brains.
Ishkabibble.
Yeah. Right. Like
what?
Pumpernickel.
It's not a weird word. That's a delicious word.
Seedless.
Seedless. It's the best rye, by the way.
Right? They're like, what? What? No matter what they do. I think, is it seedless would be a funny question to ask someone in any situation other than something with seeds. Did you read my email? Is it seedless?
I just got a new car.
Is it seedless?
Is it seedless? I think we need to do that.
I like that.
Maybe we should add that to the second 7 questions. Just be like, question number 4.
Is it seedless?
Is it seedless?
I like that.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we're going to do that.
Let's get to jump into the...
Okay. I love that. Oh, man. This is great. This is great. We are going to have a drink today. I want to switch it. I want to do the triple.
All right.
Jameson.
I'm in.
It's delicious.
You can't triple stamp, double stamp.
Can't triple stamp, double stamp.
Let's see. I missed how this started. Got a phone call. Well, you're just gonna have to watch it back because I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Is it Seedless?
I don't know. The phone call, was it Seedless? Is the triple Seedless?
I believe it is.
Yes. Seedless.
Seedless.
Extra, they comb through it twice.
Extra seedless.
Extra Seedless. Yeah.
That's how I prefer my sex. Seedless.
Yeah. I
am planting nothing.
I've planted several.
You have. Yeah.
Yeah, this triple is delightful.
I like my rye like I like my sex. Seedless.
Yes! I love it. I love that. That is great. I think this question needs to be, we should just integrate it into normal life.
Just normal.
Can we just do that?
Absolutely.
Besides just the 7 questions.
Absolutely.
Into normal
I don't know
life.
why it's so funny to me right now, but it's really funny to me.
I'm with you. I am totally with you.
Like I'm suppressing a giggle pretty much this whole time right now.
You're not doing a very good job.
I'm not. I don't know why it's that funny to me, but it is.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff going on between us and the endeavors that we have, and this podcast and travel and whatnot. So this is like this is going to be the first little stretch of not absolute mayhem for a little while.
Oh yeah, we've got a little bit of a less mayhem.
Yeah, because it's like our DC show isn't until toward the end of May.
Right.
And then we don't have any conferences until June.
Yeah, so we do have a little bit of a break. Huh?
So it's I mean, break.
We have to record some things.
We're gonna do this and we're gonna record some stuff, but this is gonna be like hey, we can actually do some stuff.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Productivity.
I like productivity.
Yeah, I find that if I'm not productive, it hurts my brain.
I can see that. I definitely have. I've been doing a lot better at allowing myself to be non-productive for a little stretch of time, which has been actually pretty mentally healthy.
Yeah,
I have to say. But then there's definitely that point where I'm like, am I just being lazy at this point? Okay, I got to do something.
Yeah,
I have to I need to finish some project or start some project or do something. So
yeah, I think for me, I've been more of a I'll take time to be not productive throughout the week, like short bursts though, so like I'll come out and I'll just play guitar to just play guitar. A lot of times that turns into being productive, but I try not to.
Yeah, but I think that's the better way to do it though.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're allowing yourself to fall into productivity instead of like going like, I have to be productive now. I have to sit down and do something. Because then, at least for me, that never works.
Oh yeah.
Or if it does work, it doesn't work great. You
know,
it's like I do something mediocre.
Yeah. And then the new WWE video game is out. So like we're playing it a lot with the kids.
Yeah, you have been enjoying that.
So that's been my way of like decompress.
Nice.
And have fun and enjoy. And that's been extremely helpful.
Nice.
In some of my mental health things.
That's fun.
So to speak.
I've laid off the video games. Like I go through spurts where I'll get pretty heavily into a game for like a week or two, and then I'll like lay off for a little while. I'll be like, I did that too much. I gotta chill. So I'm in a chill moment with games right now, and kind of veering back into like a guitar playing thing because I go back and forth.
Okay,
so those are my two, like, shut my brain off and just do something you know, so that's been my thing. What do you think, like, so you're a productive person. You've always been a productive ever since I've known you. You've been a really productive person. What do you attribute to making you like a self-starter? Because a lot of times people that even people that are like, how do you get so many things done? You know, like the main problem that they seem to have is that self-starting thing that just, is it a ritualistic thing where you just have to sit down and do something a certain way? Have you always just been like oh, I'll just do something? Was it born out of like being relied on for things so much and just kind of like being that guy that comes through, and then you just started doing it for yourself too? Or what like, how did that happen for you?
I couldn't really truly pinpoint it. The only thing I could say is, like my grandfathers and my father and like Uncle Jerry, uh, they were all very like, they were good with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
They could do things, and like they had enough money, but not like that much money where it was just like, yeah, just pay somebody to do it. They were always very DIY.
Mm-hmm.
And me as a kid, my mom was very, very sick a lot of the time, and my dad was out working a lot of the time. So it was very much okay, well, I want to do this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. That's all, and like the real kind of turning point that I could probably put my finger on would be like, I wanted to play bass.
Mm-hmm.
Came to my parents and I was like, I'm into bands, I'm into music, I want to play bass. And they were like, we don't really have the money to just go out and buy a bass, but your dad has an acoustic guitar. It was a 12-string acoustic guitar. And we could start you out with that. And it was like that compromise. And that night he gave me that book of chords, that big chart
Mm-hmm.
that has like 100 chords on it or whatever it was. And
with the Stu Leonard, or not Stu
yeah,
Leonard, or like, what, I can't remember what it was.
Stuart, no, not
Or
Stuart Mac.
Yeah,
No.
Stu Leonard.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
no,
so.
Stu Leonard's the supermarket.
Yeah.
The Stu Mac is
The something Leonard. I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. I don't.
I can't remember what it is, but Stuart Mac is a website where you can buy a bunch of guitar stuff.
Yeah.
But the Hal Leonard.
That's it. It was the Hal Leonard book. And he was like, this is an E chord, practice that. And when you start getting good, like, here are the things. And, like, I'll come and teach you something new tomorrow. And that night I was just like, well, this one chord is good, but I want to play 2 chords, like, so I can do something with it.
Right.
And I just, from there on, it was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And, being a musician in the time period that I was in, that we were in, DIY recording was not really a thing.
No, it didn't happen.
It was, and that's what made
a couple 4 tracks.
Yeah, and it was really, really hard, because and I don't know if we haven't discussed it on this show, but it used to be where you'd be a band and you'd start working toward things, and then you'd put together thousands of dollars so this way you could record an album.
Yep.
Or record an EP or record a few songs, whatever it may be. And then you did it, and then you had no money to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like, okay, well, how do we scale back some of that cost? Well, I got, that's where I got my first 4-track and trying to figure that out. And then, fast forward a few years, and then there was like a consumer grade recording interface that you could use with a computer. And I was like, wow, I got to try and do that. And it was always just a function of, I want to do this. and I can't pay somebody to do this, so let's see if I could just figure it out myself. And that comes from that trickled into besides the recording, like the video stuff we do with NCAN. It was just like a function of, okay, well, that's an absurd amount of money that you're paying somebody to do.
Right.
Why don't we can we just invest in, like, it'll cost you half to invest in that stuff, and then I'll just do it. And that's kind of what, so I've just always figured it out myself. And before the interwebs was really like very formal, informal, or like, where you could find just about any answer you want on the internet. Like, it was just a series of messing up. Oh, well, that sounds terrible. That was bad. That didn't work. Right. Okay, what can I do? And it's just problem solving. Always been a problem solver. Always been.
How'd you learn that? Who taught you how to be a problem solver?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell you.
I mean, I'm sure like your mom being sick and like dealing with all that kind of stuff there was probably a lot of trial and error that was in front of you a lot. So you probably had an early, like, okay, we try things.
Yeah.
And we tried them again and we tried.
And it's weird. Like I've never been, I mean, at first, yeah, but like, I've never been afraid to fail. I never, like, there's certain failures, like doing something stupid or doing something wrong, and then like turning around and going, wow, that was not good. Like, why did I do that? That was wrong. Like, to that effect, yeah, that's kind of, like failing that way is bad. But like failing and learning, like, okay, don't do it that way next time.
Right. Yeah. I'm not unable to come back from this.
There's always tomorrow.
So that means I can fail and
exactly.
Do again. Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, I just, I've always been that, where it's like, okay, well, I need to get this done, and I have these tools available to me. How can I get it done? And I just figure it out. Just
it's interesting. Because I always wonder sometimes, because there's people that are just born and they grow up and they're self-starters because that's just what they're around. They're just motivated people. It's just the way it goes. But then there are people that are motivated out of being kind of taught and nurtured to be motivated. And then there are people that are motivated almost out of rebellion. Also, it seems to me to kind of like figure out which and where.
Yeah. I mean, you could, my parents started the foundation out of necessity. Anything that I've done musically, I've done out of necessity. Like, I started out a guitar player, and okay, well, I need a singer. Can you sing? And it's like, I guess.
Well, there's a rebellious spirit that's throughout your whole family. You know what I mean? Like your parents' foundation was built out of rebellion.
Exactly.
Also,
so like
everything is like, you're not going to tell me that I can't.
Like, I don't think so. So I definitely think I got it from my parents. But I don't see that as the first lesson, because that didn't start until 2001 or 2000.
That's more
exposure
therapy,
right? Like that happened in 2003.
Okay,
I was that way before that. So they were probably that way in different ways.
Sure,
but I couldn't actually like give a tangible time or event or thing that happened that made
there wasn't
like
a catalyst.
Right.
Gotcha. That's interesting. I know, like, for me, it was a matter of for the music stuff, it was the people I was around. I joined my band in high school, and my band in high school was like, we need to record. It's going to cost us $2,500 to record. And
Yeah.
we're all in 7th grade. And it was like, how do we get $2,500? And it was like, well, none of us have any skills other than this right here. So let's learn 4 hours of music and let's go play shows and let's charge and let's play anything and anywhere and make the money. And that's what we did,
Yeah.
you know? And it was like, well, we have to, we don't know how to do any of this other stuff. So figure it out as you go. You know, the guitar player went and worked at a studio so that we could get money
Recording
off of
time.
our studio
Yeah.
time, which is why it only cost us $2,500. But
Right.
like, but yeah, there was 4 7th and 8th graders coming up with $2,500 to make a record. And that was just to make it, let alone to print it and send for
Yeah.
it and wait for it and make artwork and all that kind of stuff. So but I was with a group of people that were really organized and really motivated. My buddy Brian Speaker is one of the most motivated
yeah.
people I've ever met in my life. So it's like I learned a lot on how to be a self-starter and a go-getter just from kind of being friends with him and being around him. Because for me, it was more getting away from doing things because, you know, I grew up where it was like everything that I could learn to build something or do something was part of a chore that I had to do anyway. So I was like taking care of the lawn and helping my dad wash a car and helping him put something together or, you know, doing something in the yard or any of that stuff. So I didn't want to do any of that type of thing.
Right.
Any kind of, I was like, no. But I definitely got the part of me that's oh, tell me I can't. I got that from my mom 100%. Like my mom's a full-on brat and I am also a full-on brat. I'm like, oh, I can't. Oh, well, I'm just hold on right there. Cause I'm gonna go over here and do that. But I just want to make sure you have a good view.
Right.
So I think my whole, factor of being motivated and being a self-starter and all that stuff, I learned from friends, honestly. I got some of it from my family. I mean, my dad's very successful and very much a self-starter, and my mom owned a business and all that kind of stuff. But still, the people I really kind of paid attention to were my friend group, and so I took a lot of that behavior from those, my buddy Brian and my buddy Dan, you know, like those were the ones that I kind of like, I looked up to and was like, oh, you have it figured out.
You're right.
I know I'm going to do what you do, whether I like it or not. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny. Like when it's incredible that we're musicians that are in just a, you know, not to age us at all or anything, but like we have been in 2 vastly different times in music.
Yeah.
And coming up as a band and then and now are, I mean, even just talking about 15 years.
Dude, we just missed when we would have been signed and famous.
Right.
Like the era where that happened, where everybody just got signed.
Yeah.
If you were good, you were signed.
Yeah.
Like we just missed it.
It's wild how stark of a difference there is between when we were coming up and where it is now.
Yeah.
And accessibility and all that stuff. It's so crazy to me that, yeah, like there was a time and a place where it was like, just go and play.
Yep.
Pound the pavement, play every possible show you can, be in front of as many new eyes as you can. If there's a possibility of someone important being at a show, that mattered.
Send crap ass tapes, 4-track tapes of your rehearsal songs into labels.
Right.
Because they will listen to them and people have gotten signed off them.
Right. and it
Yeah.
is just unbelievable how different it is now. And now, like,
Yep.
you know, it's don't play every show. You're welcome.
Right.
Be strategic, beat, and it was like,
Well, it hit in between that now, which is
Yeah.
that, and before there was also that the 360 deal moment,
yeah,
right? Where all these bands were getting the 360 deal, where it was go play those shows, but sell 100,000 records on your own and prove that that you don't need anybody.
yeah. There was that
And
in
then
between.
we'll give you a deal and we'll put you in front of more people. We'll take your 100,000 to 500,000.
Right. And it was
Right.
like, it was closer to that 20, it was closer to 2010,
Mhm.
I'm going to say, where it was like, we'll do a development deal.
Yep.
Which is
Yeah.
basically go do everything. We'll put our label on it. We'll help you with distribution.
Right. And we're going to take 20%.
And we're going to take, X amount. And that's something that we had.
Give us your finished record. We're going to put our name on it, take 20% of all the sales, but we'll put it in front of more people.
Right.
But you have to have sold 100,000 of it first, which means you don't really need us because you're making a living.
Yeah.
But now that you're making a living, if you also want to be a household
hugely
name,
successful,
then we can help you cross that bridge. And now there's not that anymore. That's gone.
No.
Now it's just like become a viral sensation and hope that you can do it more than once.
Yeah. It's very interesting, the landscape of things. But I know that there's plenty of people who miss that old way and everything like that. I loved
Sure.
it. I loved getting to play all the time. Even though if I wasn't on tour, being able to play all the time was the best. It's what we do it for. It's the whole reason why we do it.
I didn't get into this so that I could make records.
Right.
Or so that I could make social media posts.
Right.
I got into this to play in front of people.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was really, really cool. But I forgot where I was going with it. With that thought. But
that's what I do. That's my superpower.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it Seedless? It is now.
I wish there was a seed to
You
get
just
me
dropped
back.
all your seeds.
I did. I dropped all the seeds on the ground. But I used to love doing that, but at the same time, I feel like there was just this lack of attainability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was definitely this lack of attainability and lack of access to the next echelon, the
Sure.
next level. And now it's there really is none.
Yeah.
Now
the glass
there's
ceiling is very thick.
Right. Yeah. Now there is none. Now it's like relatively, it's a relatively even playing field if you're smart with your money.
If you have a rich relative, you're good.
You're more than good.
If you got a doctor or a lawyer in the family that'll finance you, or if you have someone
But that's the way it always was.
No.
Dude, there was a point where bands we were all looking for investors.
Sure, but it's not how it always was. If you look like Nirvana didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to break through.
No.
Guns N' Roses didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to break through. They're all living in the same crap ass house and eating PB&J and stuff like that. I mean, like all those things are real stories that like struggle to success was a big part of it. And I think that's why some of those bands were able to kind of like last 10 years and 20 years, because there was a come up where there was a struggle to get there that wasn't a struggle to come up with a bunch of money. It was a struggle to earn a fan and earn another fan and get fans that became fanatics so that they bought you dinner. Otherwise you didn't eat, or, like create a scene and become a part of a big scene to where like, it's undeniable, and people are just going, and everything's successful because you've built something, versus, you know, like, we need to come up with this dollar amount so that we can get on this tour for this many weeks.
Yeah.
And then you're just, you know, like, hoping for it. But then when you get on a real tour and the grind is there, people don't last. They fall off. And then, you know, the only one that lasts is the writer of the band, and they surround themselves with a whole new band of people that have been struggling to try and get in the session work scene, which is now the build yourself up and struggle and work and do all that stuff. You know what I mean? I think there's just so much of there's so much of a buy-in now that it becomes oppressive to someone who isn't talented at selling themselves on social media. You either have money or you have the ability to go viral. And when you go viral, you don't go viral for your music, so it doesn't help your music. Nothing points to your music. Nobody cares about your song. They just care. They want you to do another funny thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that catch-22 where that the come up isn't built on, hey, you were here for these 5 songs. Wait till you hear these 5. Hey, you guys came in for the second set of 5 songs. Did you check out the first 5? Wait till you hear the next 5. Hey, you guys showed up for these 10 songs. Oh my God, that's amazing. Did you meet these guys who were here for the first 5? They're still here. And then here's the ones that they became friends with the second 5. You know, and that slow build of creating a fan base that is going to carry you, because a fan base will carry you much further than dollars will.
Yeah.
Because dollars go away.
Dollars go away. Fans come back.
Fans come back.
Yeah.
You know, people that love your art love your art.
Yeah.
So it's a much weirder place that we're in, I think, right now.
I think what's fun about our approach to Oswald is that there is a lot of that still in what we're doing. And you know, the stuff we do on socials is very centric to what we do, and it's cool to me
very song
that
by
we're
song.
getting.
I love it.
I really do love the fact that Andy's absolutely killing it.
Yes.
He's absolutely killing it when it comes to the social media stuff. And what I love about it is it does give me that vibe of the building fans.
Yep.
And the comments, they're never about the content itself. It's, I mean, not never. There's a few, but most of it is about the music itself.
Yeah.
And that's the part that gets me very excited.
Incredibly rewarding.
Because that means that what we're doing is working.
Yeah. It's very validating and very rewarding.
It's not putting our music to a cat falling asleep and falling off of a deck.
Yeah. I love this cartoon. It's not that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he alters them enough that it works with the music. It's been really, really cool, really, really rewarding. You know, I've had a song that I've been a part of off the way that Glow has.
Yeah.
And that's been really, really,
yeah,
really
cool. That's a very cool thing.
So yeah, but and thank you to our fans and friends,
for everybody that's watching and listening,
for doing
that's
it,
super cool,
listening and growing it this way. I hope that we're able to do that. And you know, the other thing too that I was really, really thinking about, you know, like the nucleus is us three, and of course we get Joey and Christina to play. And I'm starting to see where our trajectory is and what's going to make us stand out. And I think that there's a part of, like, even the live show, yeah, we're going to need some tracks. Yeah, we have a click, but we're still very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's getting to the point, like, we discuss tracks. Everybody discusses tracks,
Sure.
in-ear systems, this, that, the other thing. And literally every band does it now. Literally every band does every show the same.
Mm-hmm.
And not every band. What?
Not every band.
No, not every band. But I'm saying,
But
like,
yes,
by
you're
and
right.
large,
You're right.
I mean, you look at a certain level,
Yep.
and they're all
You're right.
doing the same thing.
You're
They're-
absolutely right.
Because
I'm just being a brat.
yeah, it's and yeah, there's production elements and all that stuff that you got to take into account, and that's totally cool. That's totally fine. But I think that us not doing that is what's going to be what sets us apart eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And from a local smaller level, maybe not, but once we take another step, which is coming soon,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's gonna set us apart, because we're not gonna have all those things. And I'm, as much as the back of my mind, I was originally like, man, I'd love to get an in-ear system, and I'd love to do this,
Right.
I'd love to do that. There's a part of me that's like, that's what's gonna make us different on the bill. That's what's gonna make us, like, you put us in a festival
Mm-hmm.
with a whole bunch of bands now
Yeah.
currently.
Yep.
Everything is hit the space bar, and your 30 minutes is 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Front to back, same thing every single time. With us, you're not going to get that, and that's magic. That's the magic of it. That's the cool part about it. Yeah, you can start and stop things like that, but I think that's gonna be crucial to, again, just staying different, doing something different.
Well, it's incorporating parts of all the styles of music that we love and that are successful in a live situation.
Mm-hmm.
What's successful live? What do people love to go see? Right now, people love to go see jam bands. You know why they love to go see jam bands? Because they don't care, and they just love to jam out. And they just love to. You can make a song that's 6 minutes long into a 25-minute song today, and maybe it's 12 minutes tomorrow, and maybe your middle section goes a little longer than 8, and maybe it's 16 today, and stuff like that. The cool thing about taking that kind of an aspect into a rock and a pop and a hard rock setting is that you have a certain looseness that allows you to go, hey, everybody's partying right now. I know that we're supposed to go into this next thing, but let's let the vibe happen a little longer. Let's chill. Let's kind of let this go for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that that bands used to do in all genres, but in the rock and hard rock and pop genres, those things have kind of gone away.
Yeah.
Because of just using technology to the point where every little thing is kind of planned out.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a little bit less of that. There's less of that feel of an audience being a part of the show. You're not a part of the show if the show is the same whether you're there or not.
Sure.
Whereas if you're there and there's a moment and things happen and it lasts a little bit longer and it's different, that's because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not because of the band. That's because that's because of the audience.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of shows that I love. And
that's the best.
that I've always tried to put on and want to put on.
Yeah.
I think those are the best things.
Yeah, I love that. And then the other thing too is we've discussed this in private and stuff, but I think we should definitely say it.
We're already here.
We're here. We're talking about this stuff. But we've discussed this in private. But there's been a lot of discussion about wanting to go into studio and do things professional, in a pro studio and this and that. And to me, like, I don't disagree. I love working with different people, and I love the ability to go in to an expert who does it for a living and get their ideas and get the, whatever it is. But I want to DIY the hell out of it. This is what we were kind of saying.
Yep.
Like, DIY until we can't anymore.
And then hybrid.
and then hybrid.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I was getting at is if we bring someone into the fray, as much as I love people that we work with around here, everybody loves working with those people as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you've got a pool of 25 bands, let's just say, that we associate with, that we all talk with those 25 or 30 bands, they go to 4 people.
Right.
Here. They go to 4 people. I don't want to go to those people because those 4 people are giving their thoughts, their opinion, their ideas, the way they would do anything to those 30 bands, right? I want to go elsewhere. I want to reach out. I want to go to people that people on this 50-mile stretch of land don't go to.
Yeah.
I'm not closed off to working with any of those people.
Of course.
But I want to see what else is out there too.
Yeah. I think that it's almost a matter of if we're going to work with somebody, I mean, there's a difference between working with somebody and sending your stuff to somebody to be like, hey,
go
mixing advice,
right?
Tracking advice. What you got on this? How do you hear this? I think using all those resources is something that we do and should do and always should do.
Oh yeah.
When it comes time to go work with somebody else, I'm more of the mindset of someone else needs to come in and tell us that we need to work with somebody else and help us pay for it. And when that comes, it's like, okay, let's put together a top 10 list of people that have worked on things that we really like,
right? And
send things to them and try and do that.
That's what I want to do.
That's where my brain takes me. It's like all the resources that we currently have, we have for a reason.
Oh yeah, and you know what?
And we use them.
We do use them. Yes. Yeah.
But when it comes time to like have to really sit down, I don't think there's a point where we need to do something different unless somebody comes along and says, hey, you guys really need to do something different. Here's how I can help. And they go, oh, show me how you can help.
Yeah. And,
right? Like,
and also
because opinions are awesome. But
right. And the other thing too is that like we do have to, again, at the end of the day, what's it all come down to? Capital, money.
Yep.
All of this stuff costs money. When you're not doing it yourself, even when you do it yourself.
Even when you do it yourself, it still costs money.
It still costs money. And again, our approach to this is we have limited funds. We can produce a product on our own that sounds good.
It sounds really good. It sounds great. He only says good because he's the one that does it. And he's like being he's being lame about it, but it sounds really good. You do a great job and it sounds great. If it didn't sound great, it wouldn't be out because I'd be like, we need to send this to somebody.
Right. Okay.
If of anybody that we work with, I would be your guy.
You're the guy
that would be like, nah, man.
Yeah. Yes. Nix this.
Let's not yet.
Yeah. So I do think, yeah. So we can create a product that's commercially acceptable. Right.
It's really good, man.
And So
You
let's
suck.
let's save that money that we would give to somebody to do as
Right.
good of a job, if not maybe a little better, if not maybe a little worse. It's a mixed bag, right? But save that money and put the money into promotion and the other things that happen, because I again, this is something that we've spoken about like how many times, is the work doesn't end when you release the song.
No, that's when it starts.
That's when it starts.
Yeah.
All that stuff leading up to the release of a song is the work that goes into releasing a song.
Right.
And then once it's out, you still have to push it. You still have to promote it. You have to market it.
Yeah.
You have to do all of the things. So
well, it's like having a kid.
That's
you can't go through 9 months of birthing a child and then just put it down and walk away and be like, well, I hope you're president someday.
It's in the world now. Okay.
Leave it to fate.
Right. No, absolutely. And
that's when it starts,
That's the thing, is that's when it starts, and going back to the old way.
Yeah.
We'd spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to try and get that product that we can tangibly have in our hand and give to people.
Yes.
And then you don't have a penny to distribute it.
Yep.
Or promote or send to people.
Yep.
So we can do that in-house. The rest of it, let's give to the experts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to push things forward, not having this amazing.
That's when the self-starter ends and you go, okay, now I need somebody that's better than me at a thing.
Right. But it's super important that you hold back that money. If you can have a quality product,
yeah,
you hold back that money and you go, okay, well, where did I go wrong last time? Okay, I spent thousands of dollars to get it done by a professional to record it. I didn't do that this time. So what do we have to do? You spend it on putting it out there, spend it on getting it out into the world, spend it on PR, spend it on playlisting, spend it on the stuff that's going to expand your reach, because a recording is not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. And that goes for back then too.
It's
just having the recording is not going to be what gets you out there. And that's my TED Talk.
It's a good TED Talk.
Thanks.
You did good.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, maybe I was off base.
No, not at all. You know what's funny about you is like, so there's a type of person that that Mike and I both take umbrage with, and that is someone that I will call a hug chaser. There are people in this world that chase the hug, right? They run around all the time. They go, look at what I did. Did you see what I did? Tell me I'm pretty. Like there's a lot of that. And that, hey, far be it from me to say that you can't be that, but I will say, just as a human being, myself, only speaking for myself, that kind of stuff kind of drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Right. I'm never into that. But there's also the polar opposite of that, which is you, which is also infuriating, because it's like, yeah, don't say that I did this. No, I don't need any. No, I don't need any. No, I don't need any. If I take any credit, I'm going to look like a hug chaser. It's like, no, you're not going to look like a hug chaser. Like, it's okay sometimes to go like, hey, I do this because I can. It's not important that you know that I do it, but we're talking about it right now, so I'll say that I did it, and I'm proud of it, and I'm good at it. And that's you. That should be you. Take some ownership. Be proud of it. You do a good job. You're not a hug chaser. I promise. Okay. Again, of everyone you know, I would tell you.
You certainly would. You certainly would.
I would.
And you let me know. Very
quickly.
Harshly.
Very fast.
Very fast. Very harsh.
Yeah.
You hit. You strike.
Oh no. You gotta snap that down when that happens.
Yeah.
Don't chase a hug.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm trying to get better at it.
Good.
I'm working on it.
Good.
I'm actively. Hey, I'm going to therapy.
Hey,
I'm working on it.
it's all part of the process.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know what? We've been happy to be part of your process today.
Yeah.
We've been here for a while, but we are going to close it up. But thank you guys for listening to us today. Talk about self-starting and taking some ownership and not being a hug chaser and strategery and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully you were able to take something out of it, even if you're not a musician, because honestly, like, all these things are part of any part of life that you're in.
Yeah,
they really are. Like, we just happen to kind of do the same thing as each other, and so we can talk about it. And if you get something out of it, that's amazing. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being a part of it. As always, to our patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypodcast. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Without you, no one would have heard it anyway, because we would have done this whole thing with no volume.
Yeah.
But also, just thank you for supporting the show and supporting us and being a part of all of that. If anybody that's listening wants to help support and be part of that crew, part of that
the BIMP squad.
Yeah, part of that BIM squad that helps us put these out and helps us do all that stuff that we talk about doing. Please jump over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast. Check it out, see what you think, jump on. We do these live with them every single week. So thank you guys. Thank you at home. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone. You got anything?
No. Be on the lookout. Oswald is going to be going to a bunch of places.
Yeah. We're going rogue.
We're going to DC. We're going to Connecticut. We're going to be in Brooklyn. We're going to be in a lot of places. So
come see us and let us know.
Come see us. And also, producer Dan said he is too good to be a patron.
Well, doesn't sound very good to me.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what, Pinky. I don't think he's too good to be a patron.
Can you put Donna's up on the screen, please? Today's sound has been brought to you by the BIM Squad.
That is very true.
There's not a truer statement that has been said today than that.
Yes. Yeah. I think what we're going to do is, for the end of this show, is going to be the whole beginning.
Okay.
Where we were talking. And
why not?
That could be like the post-credit scene.
Yeah. All right.
It's like the shawarma scene.
It's the shawarma scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll cover my face so you can't see my beard.
Exactly. So, all right, boys and girls and friends
and non-binaries alike.
And non-berries.
Non-berries. And the non-berries out there.
And the blueberries.
Blueberry Pie Day.
Yeah. We love you.
Yes.
And always remember to ask yourself,
is it seedless?
Is it seedless? Now you can hear us.